What is up, Defects? We're back for another video. We're talking high-end collectibles market, heavy hitter. But before we get into all that, say what up to my boy, the Butcher 105. What up?
Defects, what is up? Back with another Market Watch video. We talked about the ASM number one 9.8 pedigree a couple of Market Watches ago. Tonight, we're talking about a heavy hitter. People are spending money on these auctions house. Matt, let them know what's going on.
Yeah, so guys, if you saw from the thumbnail, we could have the most expensive comic book sale of all time. There is a copy of Action Comics number one going up for sale, a Pedigree 8 CGC Blue Label 8.5. So let me show you guys that on the screen. Guys, beautiful, beautiful book. I like those Pedigree labels. I don't know about you, Jay, but there's something about them.
It's the gold, bro.
Yeah, yeah. So, guys, before we get into some of the stats, let's just take a quick look at this book to see, does this one look like an 8.5 compared to some of the other books that we've seen recently that we haven't been so sure about? And I mean, just as a spoiler alert, I looked and this looks closer, at least in grade, to some of the other ones that we looked at last time. You could go back and watch a couple videos ago. I'll pop it up above our heads over there. But let me blow this up. Just take a quick look, and I don't know, Jay. I mean, there's some wear on here, but definitely at least a little closer to an 8.5 than, I know on the Golden Age books they definitely give you some leeway. This one looks pretty clean for an
Yeah,
8.5. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know if anything's jumping out to you, but that looks more in line what you would expect to see as an 8.0, 8.5, right?
Yeah, I mean, you got a little color rub, but that's for such an old book. But this definitely looks more closer to the grade than the books we've seen in the previous video. So a little wear and tear on the top, but I mean that's looking like an 8.5.
Looking like an A5. So, guys, this is going to be up for auction on Heritage. I think this one is in April, right? I believe it's in April. See if I should have looked that up. I believe it's in April. If it's not, I'll put it on the screen. I'll fix it up. But this is a Kansas City pedigree comic. Jay, tell us a little bit about the Kansas City pedigree.
All right, guys. The earliest pedigree collection ever found, and it turned up in Kansas City in the late 60s and featured a large accumulation of nearly 250 high grade number one issues that ran from 1937 through the 1940s. The people who purchased it sold a handful of issues each year, but because of the accumulation, was not considered a pedigree until the 80s. And because they had no distinct markings, many copies have anonymously vanished into collections. Besides copies of Batman number one, Flash number one, Green Lantern number one, Planet number one, Jumbo number one, and Superman number one, the collection is also contained one of the only four pedigree copies of Action Comic number one. That copy is graded at a CGC 8.0 and was the first comic book to sell for $1 million in 2011. So now you have this book coming in at an 8.5 with that pedigree label.
Yeah, so it looks like, there's no definite here, but from what I'm reading and what Jay just read and some of the research we did, this book started as an 8.0 and now it's an 8.5. So somebody bought it at $1 million 10, 12 years ago. Now they flipped it to an 8.5 and now they're selling it again. So
Looking to clean and press your books before submission? Well, look no further than the best in the business, Erod 212 with Express Comic Book Pressing Service. Defects 10 gets you 10% off. Erod will submit your books to CGC and CBCS and pass along his discount. Hit him up on Instagram or email expresscbp@yahoo.com.
for those of you that don't know, Action Comics number one, first appearance of Superman. It is basically the dawn of comic books, right? 1938, early golden age. I mean, this is crazy that this even exists. Um, a little bit more about this. So there is, as Jay said, I think he said it. There's three other pedigree copies of Action Comics number one. This is the highest graded one. There are two 9.0s, which is bananas. Those are not pedigree copies, blue label. And then there's also a 9.0 purple label and a 9.4 purple label. So those are restored. So I'm not really, I mean, to me, the 9.0s are the highest, but this is the highest pedigree and obviously the highest to be publicly sold. We're not sure if the other ones have been privately sold. And then the last time, we're going to get into this, but a little preview. The last time the highest graded Action Comics to last sell was a 6.0. And I won't give you the price because we're going to talk about the top 3 highest selling comic books of all time. And I think this is going to break the record. This is bananas. I don't even know what else to say about this. Jay, I mean, you want to get into the top 3 sales of all time before we talk a little bit more about this?
Yeah, just for comparison, guys, we had a Superman #1 8.0 sell for 5.3 million back in 2022. We had an Amazing Fantasy number 15 9.6 sell for 3.6 million in 2021, and then we had an Action Comics #1 6.0 sell for 3.18 million in 2022. So you're talking 2.5 grades higher. I mean, in 2024, this book coming out into the market. I mean, who, Matt, how much? It's definitely going to surpass that Superman #1 8.0 at 5.3 million. I mean, what
Right. I mean,
baller is going to buy this?
it has to. So let me. This is a beautiful comic, but I'm going to bring this up on the big screen so we can talk about this for a minute. So first, I want to give a quick shout out to our buddy Anthony for bringing this to my attention. He's always shooting me the listings when these things come up, the big boy books, and he said, "Hey, why don't you guys talk about this one?" So shout out to you, Anthony. We always appreciate you helping out the channel. Obviously, the 8.5 has to Action has to surpass Superman #1, right? Just by numbers. Even though that sold during the peak of the market, we have talked
Yep.
about it before that this high-end collectible, the high-end stuff, the 7-figure books have not slowed down. And if anything, they have gotten even more valuable and more sought after. This has got to be over 6 mil, right? I mean, I think that's an easy, I mean, at some point, it's like, you're not going to just say, oh, it's going to be double because Action Comics 1 is worth double Superman. I mean, at some point, people like you start getting into some big numbers. So I don't know, 6.5 mil, I think is a good number for this, Jay. What do you think?
I mean, it's so hard to gauge, man. I don't know. Like you said, when you talk about these big value books, it could go for. I would like to know what this person paid for. I guess he paid the 3.18 million, right? Oh no, actually, what was it?
It was
This was
this,
an
he
8.0
bought the
first.
8.0 for a million, right? We
Oh, he bought
believe.
it eight.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So he bought the 8.0 for a million, cracked it out, clean pressed, whatever he did. It came back to 8.5, and now years later he's gonna sell it. I mean, yeah, man, 7 million. I don't know. I was totally off on the Amazing Spider-Man #1. So when you're talking big dollars and big ballers, I don't know, man. I guess seven's gonna be my guess.
Sky's the limit because this is not once in a lifetime. This is once in a generation. I mean, this is tough. And again, if you have additional information on this book, because we're assuming that the guy that bought it in 2010 or 11 cracked it, got the A5. But if you know, because a lot of that information is not available, it sometimes it travels in circles. So if you know, tell us in the comments below if there's a missing piece to this story that we don't know. Just like the CGC 6.0 that Jay was talking about earlier, that was a private sale. We've actually found 3 different prices: 3.18, 3.4, 3.6.
Yep.
So again, so guys, just to clarify a few things, the Action Comics 6.0 did sell on Heritage Auction for 3.18 million in 2022, but it also sold privately for 3.4 million in 2022. I'm not sure if it's the same 6.0 or a different 6.0. In addition, there was an 8.5 that sold on Comic Connect in 2021 for 3.25 million. That sale obviously was not reported on GPA, as Comic Connect does not report to GPA. So again, sometimes these higher end collectibles, it's hard to find the entire picture with some of the sales. So just wanted to bring some clarity there for you guys. Sometimes you don't get the whole story. You hear it through the grapevine. So if you have additional information, please put it down below in the comments. I will pin the comment. But this is big dog books. I mean, let us know in the comments what you think this is going to sell for. But guys, there is another monster book that is selling in the same auction. Not really in comparison to this, which is crazy to even think of. But let me bring it up, Jay. Tales of Suspense, number 39, 1963. The first appearance of Iron Man, a 9.8 white pager. Bananas. Bananas. So, I mean, this is a book that, let's see. A 9.6 sold for 250,000 back in 2012. You got to assume this is $1 million book, right, Jay?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you're talking about 12 years ago this sold, Matt. I mean, I couldn't, and this looks clean so far. Holy smokes. A mil at least.
Yeah.
Maybe one, two. You know what I mean? Holy smokes, man. I can't even believe people have this type of money to spend on comic books, dude. I buy like a $2,000 book and I'm like, fuck. Holy smokes. You're talking millions upon millions of dollars here, guys, for a collectible. I mean, oh.
So, guys, crazy book selling. Again, leave some comments. Let us know what you think this is going to sell for. I just can't believe that the high end collectible market is still going up, Jay. This is, we saw the market, the regular market, kind of take a big dive after the huge bubble. It's been a roller coaster of a ride. It seems like it's starting to level out. We'll do like a regular market video coming up, but Jay, the high end, it's just not slowing down. It seems like.
Nah, yeah. I mean, listen, money goes to money, right? We always say that it's not slowing down. We're seeing all-time record books that we haven't even seen being sold. Like these books are crazy, man. Like you're talking about a first Iron Man in a 9.8. You're talking about a first Superman in an 8.5. This is ridiculous. I'm excited, guys. I hope everybody that's watching and in the put your comments and put down what you think they're going to sell for. Um, I can't wait to see. Come May 1st, we'll know.
Yeah, exactly. So obviously after these books sell, we will come back, we will do another video, we will revisit, and I'm sure there's going to be some other big books coming up because like Jay said, it just seems that books that have either never seen the market or haven't seen the market in 10 to 15 years are now hitting the market. So this is a cool time to be a collector, just to watch. I mean, 99.9% of us are just spectators on this scale, right?
Yep.
But we're going to wrap up the video. Guys, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Hit the notification bell so you know when we're putting out new videos. Every Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern. And then every other Wednesday around 8 or 8:30 Eastern. That is when you're going to see the live show. That is where the magic happens. That's where a lot of fun goes down. So be in there. And then every Tuesday night, between 9:15 and 9:30 Eastern, we are on eBay Live. Yes, that is right. eBay Live auctions are a thing now. We are on there. We are also going to be selling dollar books. These are $50 to $100 books that we are dropping for $1. Not $1 starts, but $1 in the buy it now. If you want to know how to get involved in that, go in the link below. Follow us as an eBay seller. You will be notified when we go live. Like I said, Tuesday nights, be in there. It's been a great time. People have been getting deals, and the eBay Live's kicking off, man. We're just getting the party started. So, to the next video, Defects. Later.